Page 67. Actually, I'm going to cover pages 67 through 69 in this lesson. This is the first lesson in Unit 5. Sort of a review first, where you can read all that junk on page 66. Yuck. They're talking about playing the chords, the different flavors of chords, or I call them flavors. Other people call them other. I don't care what you call them. But we're dealing with triads, and it's just go up a C scale, for instance. You start with and we just do the triads going up the scale. There, I forgot that one. Well, each one is a different flavor. Well, the primary chords are 1, 4, and 5. Those are major. You just remember 1, the 4, and the 5. Those are major. None of the others are major. So those are major. And it's a major when it's a major third and a minor third. That's a major triad. And then the 2, 3, 6, those are minor. So we got 3 major and 3 minor. All right. And that's because it's a minor third and a major third stacked. And that 7th, that's the black sheep of the family. Gotta have one, don't you know? That is the diminished. That's a minor and a minor. So what is this augmented stuff about? Okay, if I take a major triad and I raise the top note up a half step, I get a major third and a major third. 2 major thirds. That's an augmented triad, an augmented chord. Now look at the top of page 67. They give you, I'm just going to talk the top staff here. We raise it up for an augmented, and then a minor, and then the diminished, of course, the top does 2 minor thirds. But now look at the next one. It's a B major. They're using accidentals, but this is a B major chord because it's a major third and a minor third, and the bottom note's B. It's a B major chord. So we have the B, and then we have a double sharp. So we can't use G. It's not a B, D sharp, G. No, because we're using the note names in the chord, and the note names are B, D, and F. Those are the note names we've got to use. So if we want to take the F up again, we've got to double sharp it. That's what the X is. It's a double sharp. So it's a B, a D sharp, and an F double sharp. An augmented chord. And then the minors come down here. Or you can do this for the diminished, because that's a minor and a minor, so we have a B diminished. We have all kinds of fun. Okay. Bottom of the page, they're talking about the inversions again. You can do that on your own. Just go up the scale slowly. I don't care what rhythm you use, just here. And the fingering, in the left hand, you're going to have to scale. Use the fingering for the scale. And the right hand, they're doing this. I don't like that fingering. That's not the fingering I would use in music if I were to run across a passage like this. But for the purpose of what we're doing, you want to get that feeling of these patterns in your hands. So we use this fingering for now. We have a piece of music with this pattern in it. Don't be surprised if I change the fingering. Although you don't have to change it. On page 68, they give a sample of one of the exercises, or one of the etudes, if you want to call it that, by Hannon in the Virtuoso Pianist. It's a really neat book to have. I use it sometimes just for fun. When I want to just wiggle the fingers, these are fun. Because they're sequences. They go up the keyboard and down the keyboard, basically with the same, and some of them get quite involved. If you do choose to use the actual book, in my opinion, just my opinion, don't bother with the metronome markings in the book. Those are for the professionals. You play that fast, you don't need these books. You can just play. You take it at your speed where they are even and controlled. So here it's a pattern, and each of these you're just going up. See, the thumb is off. So and the left hand, when you're doing that, you hear that's it. You don't have to go that fast, but the point is, and they're starting down here, I think. But the actual book, it goes up up here. This isn't going all the way up as far as the book goes. The book goes higher than this, I'm sure. But when you turn around and come back down, it's the same pattern, except now the notes with a note in between are on the top side. It's a descending sequence. And you can have some fun with this. Change the rhythm. Do a dotted rhythm. Just keep in mind, if it's a dotted rhythm, those short notes got to be short. If you turn it into a triplet, ba-dee-da-dee-da, that's triplets. That's rocking it. Similar to a swing or blues style. Speed-wise, it's entirely up to you what you take this as, but they need to be even. And I recommend starting slow and accenting maybe the first, take a measure or two and really slow and accent every note. Drop the wrist on every, similar to the scales. I keep starting here than here because I'm too lazy to reach here. So accenting every note and dropping, then every two notes. Then every three notes. So that's a trick here because it doesn't work out. You got to go here. Every three measures before it comes around again. But again, it's every three notes, dropping the wrist, and then every four notes. This helps you to keep these notes even and controlled. When you can drop your wrist and accent on any note at any time, you have the control. You could try one accent per measure, but that might be a little bit fast right now. Well, that's like similar to the metronome markings they would have in the book, although they're faster than what I just did. I recommend keeping it slow. It's more important to develop this control with the accents and the wrist drops at a slow speed than it is to go lickety-split and then make it sound like junk. I don't do a play with me on this kind of a thing because it's just a sequence going up and down and the rhythm is 16th notes, so whatever. Now on page 69, it gives some more scales and arpeggios. Again, I prefer to use the approach I use in the scale videos, but they're using E major. And if you're going to do that, go ahead and do C sharp minor because it's also got four sharps. And again, in the left hand, I use fourth finger on the G sharp. There. That's how I was taught in school, and that's how I do it. Now, for a lot of non-piano majors, the teachers will accept three. But I'm a stickler and an old-fashioned teacher. My students always had to do fourth finger because that is a third, an interval of a third apart, and that means if little finger, it's fourth. If I go up another one, then it's third. Other one. I have a slight quiver in my left hand sometimes, so it makes it more fun to play left hand. Now they're doing the parallel minors. Remember, I do the relative minors. They're doing parallel, so they're starting an E major and E minor. They just changed the key signature. So they're doing E minor, and it's harmonic minor. You're raising the seventh. So you can go do those scales also. See, now they're using fourth. Now, I still prefer the way I approach it in my scale videos and arpeggio videos, but you do it the way your teacher tells you to do it, of course, while you study under them.